Hello, family. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this live stream tonight. It is the 25th of May, and today I want to talk about Charlotte and Raleigh and all of North Carolina real estate with a special guest. I will introduce her in just a minute. Somebody that I'm very, very excited to bring on tonight. But before we get into the content, I want to say thank you. Thank you to my subscribers, my clients. I swear I have the best community, I believe, around. So I am very much appreciative of you. In fact, just yesterday or the day before, I had somebody reach out. They're like, "Hey, your page is being spammed by some people. Check it out." I greatly appreciate that. And some of my clients this past week are just amazing people. Got me some closing gifts. It was you know how to make somebody feel special. So thank you very much. I very much appreciate you. But today's video, I have Bri Bolling as a guest tonight. Now, Bree, I can go on and on. I'll be brief. She is somebody I rely on, somebody who I consider a sister, a team member in the Raleigh, Durham area. And before I do anything in Raleigh or Durham, and note it, my mom lives in that area. I have access to the MLS. I can see the same numbers and everything like that. But before I do anything in Raleigh, Durham area, I reach out to Bree. She is the go-to market expert, and I trust her. So I believe you should trust her. Let's welcome Bree to the stream. How you doing, Bree?
What's up, sir?
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, can you just introduce yourself and give everybody your contact information? I know we haven't provided them with any value, but I want to go ahead and put your contact information in the chat just so they can refer to it later.
Okay, great. So I'm Bree. As Sir said, we have worked together for quite some time. I'm in the Raleigh Durham area, and I've been working here for almost 4 years. I've been in this real estate market, so I've seen pre-pandemic, pandemic, and so I work with both buyers and sellers in this market. And I just love to help others, accomplish their real estate goals.
Uh, Tell me what's the best contact information, contact number for you, and best email.
My cell phone number is 910-644-5980. And my best email would be Realtor, Realtor, Bree, my name, Bri Bolling, Bolling at gmail.com.
Thank you very much. I put her number in the chat, so feel free if you have any questions. Please provide just leave questions in the chat. Also, but before you leave a question, just to minimize confusion, because I've been known to glance over questions, put a Q in front of it so I know that it's a question. Otherwise, I think you're just making a comment and joining along in the conversation. So please put a Q in front of it so I know that it's a question. Now, Bree, I'm not sure if you've seen this. I'm sure you probably have. All these market crash videos and various articles talking about real estate market going down 25% in the coming months. What are you seeing? We'll talk about in the coming months, but what are you seeing right now on the ground in Raleigh?
Well, first of all, I would say that I do not believe that we're going to have a housing market crash in Raleigh in 2022. In
Mhm.
fact, demand continues to be very high and supply is low, which we know that shows that buyers and sellers are still actively buying and selling. Um,
Mhm.
we just this what we're seeing right now is just not a matter of a housing market crash, more of finally what we call appreciation in the market. And I do not believe that is what's going to happen in our area.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Real estate is very hyper local. I tell people, shout out to Annie. Thank you. Future client. Yes, feel free to reach out. Either one of us can help. Look forward to helping you. And Roxy, thank you for joining as well. Look forward to hearing from you and helping you. Um, but back to Bree, I totally agree with you. And real estate is I say hyper local, whereas Raleigh could be experiencing something, Charlotte could be experiencing something else, the Greensboro Triad area could be experiencing a whole different thing. However, based on what I'm seeing, my colleagues and team members on the ground in all of these areas, and also looking at the numbers, I have access to all the MLS, and I'm a data nerd, so I
Yeah.
like looking at those things. I don't see it happening in North Carolina as far as a crash. Now, other states I can't speak definitively of, but I don't see it happening in North Carolina for the sheer fact of supply being so low and demand being so high. And in your opinion, and not even opinion, but what have you seen that's driving people to the Raleigh Durham area?
So yeah, I'm glad you said that. But again, like I said, what we're seeing, I think I wanted to just go touch on what we just
Oh, yeah,
said.
yeah. Hmm.
I'll share that. But a lot of people want to relate this. What we're going through is 2008, 2012. It is not a matter of the real estate market. The 2008, 2012 was a matter of mortgage companies and banks making bad decisions. And so in our area, like you said, very hyper local. I can't speak what's going on in Virginia, but in our area, we're seeing appreciation of homes that maybe held the same value for the last 10 to 15 years. And we do
Hmm.
understand that real estate is an asset and it eventually appreciates. And so that's what I do believe is one of the primary factors of what we're seeing in our area. Our homes are finally getting the appreciation, the value that they deserve. And the second thing that you were discussing is what is it that are bringing people here? That exact reason.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
a seller sells their home in California, um, let's say 800,000 for a round number, and they come to our area, they can buy that same home for half the price.
yeah. And that is the what is going on in the market that I'm seeing right now. You have a lot of people being able to work remotely,
Correct.
so they're able to make the same money they made in California, in New York, wherever it may be, and live in the Carolinas, and then they may have to go to the office twice a month, and they're like, I'll fly, that's fine, I can get a hotel a couple nights, and that's perfectly fine with them. And the people that are coming typically have sold a home, whether it be in California or elsewhere, and they come here and see, yes, the price may be 500,000 or 600,000, and they're like, their eyes get big because they still see that as an opportunity, because $500,000-600,000 where they're moving from might have got them a two-bedroom condo.
And another thing, sir, I just had some
Mhm.
clients from Minnesota. The taxes. We pay a
Yeah,
quarter of what most states pay. The buyers were like, maybe it was like 5 grand in taxes on a home.
yeah,
Um, and they were like, is this correct? Is
yeah,
this for the whole year? They were like, we pay about 3 times as much as this.
yeah. No, the taxes here are ridiculously low in North Carolina and South Carolina. If you live in the property in South Carolina, you even pay less taxes. Now, if it's an investment property, you pay more taxes.
I didn't know
But yeah, so I tell people again, I try to get people to buy and then invest. Like, get your home situated first, ideally, but then let's start investing in real estate so you can get out of the rat race.
that.
And I tell people, if you're so inclined, to buy in South Carolina, now not deep in South Carolina, like right on the border, like right on the border, buy in South Carolina, and then you get that tax break because it's an owner occupied house, and then invest in North Carolina because the taxes are so cheap, even for investment properties.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's the name of the game with real estate investing and coming from that perspective of an investment. Yeah.
So I briefly touched on it. I want to sidetrack a little bit. I have a little bit of a rant. So everybody in the chat, please bear with me. I don't like to rant too often. However, for the past 2 years, a little more than 2 years, a lot of people have come into this real estate market, whether it be new mortgage loan officers, new real estate agents, or they might even be seasoned, and they've gotten lazy. They've, and if you had a home on the market, it just sold very quickly in the past 2 years because of the whole supply demand issue. And interest rates were crazy low, and prices were still very affordable, even for local people. Well, it's still going to be a seller's market. I'm not saying it's going to be a buyer's market, but things are changing with that rise in interest rates and prices continuing to go up. Homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. And real estate agents, this is mainly directed to you. I know a lot of real estate agents watch this as well because I get feedback from you all. So I appreciate the feedback. Is it's time to put in the work. You can't just sit down, sit back, and like, oh, that's going to sell itself. No, it's time to get back to the basics, really market properties and put in the work. I am seeing that more often now, where somebody gets a listing and they actually reverse farm,
Mhm.
where they're reaching out to me to see if I have a buyer for their listing. Whereas, in the height of COVID, nobody was reaching out. They're like, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone in hours.
Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So those days are coming to an end, and what we're going to see is the cream rise to the top. The ones that know what they're doing, that are providing an excellent service to their clients, is going to rise to the top, and the other ones that came in just thinking it was quick money are going to go by the wayside. Now, what does that mean for you, buyers and sellers out there? One, for you sellers, because homes are sitting on the market a little longer, you have to get an agent and vet the agent to make sure that they are actively marketing your property. Now, putting it on the MLS, that's not a act. That's just putting it on the MLS. Everybody does that, right? You can pay a service to do that for $500, but you need somebody to actively market your property because while it is still a seller's market, you want the most money for your property. Simple and plain. And and the best terms. So not just the most money, but the best terms. And in order to do that, you need people competing for your home. And I don't know if it's the case for you, Bree, but right now, we're not seeing as many multiple offer situations, and they're not going for crazy amounts over ask. Now, in certain price points, that is still the case, but not on every home. How is it? How is it there?
Same. It's due diligence is not as high,
Hmm.
and like you said, it's not as many offers. We're starting to see that. That's very here recently, and also some of the things like you said that kind of were uh, non-existent for a while, where agents when they were listing weren't really responding, being responsive. Starting to get more communication now.
Yeah.
Starting to get phones answered again. Yeah.
Um, that should be the case. I was actually very frustrated today. I was trying to schedule some showings for a client, and three different agents, one didn't confirm the showing, didn't give me any kind of feedback or anything, and just let it go by the wayside. And then two of them actually called and apologized, they missed it or whatever. But that's the little things, to where if you're wondering why your home hasn't sold, it might be your agent isn't allowing people to see it. They're not being as responsive as they should be, because they've been accustomed to getting offers for sight unseen for the past 2 years. So we just have to be on top of things and make sure that you are aware of who you're hiring to do a service for you. Um, like anything in business, you're gonna have good people, bad people, or not really good people, bad people, but great customer service, bad customer service. You just have to do your homework to make sure that you're getting somebody quality enough to represent your best interests. Um, we got Danny. I want to shout out Danny right here. Danny's actually a team member of mine here in Charlotte. Go to his YouTube page, check him out. He is. We actually closed the deal today, Danny. So yes, sorry, I didn't even shout you out. We closed the deal today. We helped each other out on that deal, so congratulations to you. And everybody in the chat, if you can, just hit the like button, or watching right now, hit the like button, hit that share button. It greatly helps the channel out. I appreciate you. Any questions regarding housing, the market, North Carolina, Raleigh, Charlotte? Bree, off topic, but I had a client is actually in town in Charlotte and asked me, what spots do I need to go to while I'm in town? And I was like, I had to think about it. I don't think somebody asked me that recently. So
Yeah.
if they're in Raleigh, I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't talk about this.
Okay.
What food spot should they go to? And then what chill spot? They're a grown adult, want to sit back and relax. Where do you recommend?
So anything downtown Raleigh is going to be Fayetteville Street. Is going to be, you can just kind of go to Fayetteville Street and have a good time. Glenwood Avenue and have a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Two streets that are adjacent to each other and just kind of like the heart of the city, full of good food, um, good libations if you indulge.
Hey, if you ever don't mind in the chat, put what you're drinking. I don't really drink that often, but I'm drinking right now. It's been a day, but um, is Solus still there?
It is. So it is
Nice, nice.
still there.
I
Um,
used to like Solus when I was in law school. I'm surprised I graduated law school.
you went to
Because
some too.
I was surprised I graduated law school. I was either in Chapel Hill
Uh-huh.
at the library, or not the real library. It was a bar called the library, or I was in downtown Raleigh. I didn't hang out in Durham too much. I didn't want to get caught up.
Well,
Um,
it's definitely a better culture in Durham now.
yeah, it is. It is. It's very
Yeah,
artsy and
yes,
yes, hipster vibe. I like it. I like it.
yeah,
But not when I was in school.
yeah. That's definitely evolved over
Yeah.
recent time. But one of the restaurants, I would say, if you like barbecue, if
Yes.
you like barbecue, the Pit,
The
downtown
pits.
Raleigh. The
Okay. I haven't had that.
Oh my God. The actual owner was on like one of the Food Network shows and for his sauce and everything. They have great
Oh.
turkey barbecue, pork barbecue, and everything is farm fresh.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
downtown Raleigh, a great place to start before you go to libations. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a question from Roxy. What are the best elementary and high schools in the Raleigh Chapel Hill area? Any suggestions?
So it depends on what you are looking for your um child. So we have magnet schools, we have we have some private schools, and so depending on what your focus is, some of them focus on the science side of
Mhm.
things, some of them focus more on the liberal arts sides of things when it comes to elementary schools. But Raleigh has, Wake County has this system where you can put your child in a lottery. And so if you live, let's say, in Raleigh, but you really love a school in Cary, you can have your child go to another school if you like that school's curriculum. So that's the good thing about Wake County. It has a lot of offerings when it comes to school.
Nice, nice, very nice. We got Antoine. He's seconding your suggestion. The pit. I would say the same thing regarding Charlotte. You have a lottery here in the Charlotte area, and I can't speak for everybody's experience, obviously, but my daughter was in CMS. Uh, we did the lottery twice, and we got the school we wanted both times. So again, I can't speak for everybody's experience, but it is an excellent option to be able to not have to go to the school you're zoned to go to and having a lottery. Um, we have a question. What do you think? Is it cheaper to build or buy brand new? I mean, is it cheaper to build brand new or buy?
In my opinion, I would go new construction all day.
Why do you say that? Because I
um,
was going to give a different answer, but yeah, tell
okay,
me.
well,
Yeah.
that's Well,
Yeah.
here it depends. Okay, so let me say this. It depends on what you want. If you're looking
Mm,
for a traditional style home, if you're really stuck on a particular location, then a traditional home would be more than likely the option for you. With building, as long as it's a reputable builder, and let's
yeah.
go to what Sir said, your real estate agent, you need to make sure that they're well versed in new construction because not all agents understand the new construction process. But if you're
Yeah.
between your agent, you find a reputable builder that you really like, you can get, a little more bang for your buck, I believe, at this point in new construction
Mhm.
because most homes are priced to sell as to where in our current market you do have to compete.
Now you make valid points. That is correct. Um, Reason why initially when you asked the question, is it cheaper to build new or buy a resale home? Um, I was thinking that it is cheaper to buy a resale home for the sheer fact that you have a certainty, meaning the home is already built. You can close on it in 30 to 60 days, and you know what your cost is going to be. Now, granted, a
True.
lot of these resale homes right now, these are the sellers that missed out on the high of last year. So they think they're just a lot of them. I don't want to make a blanket statement, but a lot of them are overpricing it. So if you can get it at a reasonable price where it's not inflated too much, I say the resale is the better option because you have that security. Now, building new, in my opinion, I love people that build new. I love helping, and it's your home. You're the first person in it. But a lot of challenges I've seen recently is, while yes, builders have a little more leeway with pricing and incentives and everything like that, the interest rates and the uncertainty has scared a lot of my buyers
Mhm.
as far as moving forward, because right now if you start from scratch, like the home isn't going to be ready until January or early February if you start right now in the Charlotte area. I don't know what the wait time
I,
is in Raleigh.
I agree, and I guess I should have said that. So
Yeah.
most of my clients now, I don't allow them to buy unless the home is pretty much 80
Yeah.
to 100% complete, where we can walk and pretty much be at the end
Mhm.
of it. What we called Lord, what do we call it when they're already picked out, they're
Yeah,
already
it's
ready.
it's like a spec home. It's already built. Like
So
typically, it's
yeah,
already have drywall on in it.
correct,
So yes, if that's the case, if the home is anywhere from 30 to 60 days out, then
correct,
if I had to weigh my options between 30 to 60 days out for a brand new home or 30 60 days out from a resale home, yeah, I'm going with the new home.
correct.
But if that's not the case, if it's not apples to apples, I would personally go with the resale. And I did that recently. I moved, maybe it seems like yesterday, but it was probably 6 7 weeks ago. And I was looking at new construction, and there's a couple builders that I absolutely love, but it was the wait time and the uncertainty with the interest rates. Just being totally transparent, they were like, look, we like this home here, it serves all the purposes, it checks all the boxes, let's go ahead and do that, and we can close in 32 days. And
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
so
I don't recommend building from the ground up right now. Also another demand and supply thing with with different things that we need for the home. Sometimes windows can be behind and stuff like that. So anytime that my clients are looking at new construction, it's definitely a spec home and it's definitely closing in 30 to 60 days.
yeah, so you mentioned windows. I have a client right now who's building, and we are waiting 6 weeks for windows.
Mm-hmm.
The home, like, construction has stopped
Mm-hmm.
on the home. We're waiting for windows. So, and you can't lock in your interest rate because you're so far out. So it's a lot of uncertainty right now. So it's a lot of headache. Kevin, sorry for your loss. Kevin asked a question. His father passed, has a lot of land in North Carolina. Can we help sell? Yes. Reach out to Bree or myself, my team. We can definitely help you. Again, sorry for your loss, Kevin. Um, Thomas, are builders overpricing as well? So if you saw, recent numbers just came out where um, New home sales were actually 16, almost 17% less than what was expected. And I take a lot of people ran with it and called it doomsday. I didn't take it that way, just for the sense that I talk to builders every single day. Like that is like, yes, other realtors are my colleagues, but I think builders reps are more so my colleagues. I want the inside knowledge. I want the inside scoop.
Right.
Um, and a lot of times this past quarter, they've been turning away contracts because they can't catch up. They don't have enough workers uh, to finish the jobs that they have. So that is one reason why, again, the lack of sales. But are they overpriced? What do you think, Bree? What's your answer?
I just talked to a reputable owner of a builder here, and he was discussing with me the price of land. And
Yeah.
so land is very expensive right now. And he was sharing with me that a lot, and his lot sizes are typically less than a half an acre,
Hmm.
was over $100,000 right now. And so that is what is driving some of the price points in the new construction because, of course, the cost of supplies have went up as well. And so between the two of those, I do believe that it's causing an increase in homes. I mean, we see it all the time, sir. We can help a client buy in the early stages in the community, and that same home be sold 6 months later for 50 grand more. And then our
Yes.
client has automatic appreciation
Yeah, yeah.
before they even close on their home because of what happened in 6 months. So,
So I have a closing tomorrow where my clients went under contract in December, I believe November, December. They got it at one price. And right now in the community, they are selling for 150, the same home,
hmm
$150,000 more.
yeah, yeah,
Now, granted, my client, when they first started out this search, interest rates were in the twos. So
yeah.
they feel a little jaded because they're much higher than that now. However, they are very, very happy that they have almost $150,000 worth of equity before they even moved in a home. So it's one of those things to where I'm not gonna say it all evens out, but yeah, no, definitely. Our builders overpricing as well. So builders are going to push the market. They're going to push the market, and they're going to push as far as the market allows them to. So long as buyers are buying and people are are showing that they can afford the property, they're going to keep increasing the price. Now, what I have seen is they haven't been increasing the prices as drastically and as often as as they did in the past 2 years. So that has slowed down. And what I think we'll see is like a leveling off regarding prices going up. I think we'll see two things: a leveling off, and builders will come up with more incentives.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Um,
that a lot. I'm
yeah,
seeing that a lot. I just a builder. They're giving 10K towards helping the clients buy down their rate, which
yeah,
was pretty creative, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's probably about the cost to get close to something
Mhm.
similar to what we were seeing before interest rates went up. So that's an incentive. That's a big incentive.
It's a big incentive. So builders are creative with the way they do things. They may not lower the price per se because they don't want to lower the price, but they will throw in more incentives, buy down rates. I've seen emails from builders talking about extended rate locks.
Correct.
So they get creative where they won't lower the price, but they sweeten the deal a little bit. Um, Joanne, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you for watching from Germany. Wow. It's crazy. Um, how about cash buyers with builders? So right now, I don't know about Raleigh. Right now in Charlotte, there's not as many bidding wars with builders. Um, what I've seen recently, well, when I'll say even 3 months ago, had a client win a bid, wasn't the highest, but she was all cash. So yes, cash talks when you're
Yeah.
talking to a builder. Um, but right now, they're not really doing the highest and best type thing, at least in the Charlotte area, majority of builders.
Yeah.
So you can, as long as you're the first one in, get it secured. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm sure it does. Um, but they'll tell you it doesn't matter if it's cash or whatever. But no, if you have cash, by all means, use it to your advantage. That's what I'm, in all transparency, I am stockpiling money to put to deploy, not when the housing market crash. People think it's going to crash, but no, even in any market, every market, you're going to have people that need to sell quickly for whatever reason.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean all home prices are going to crash. But when, because we're going through a recession, just is what it is, right? And it's not a bad thing. Our economy is cyclical. You have ups, you have downs. It's going to rain. It's going to, sun is going to shine sometimes. But when people need help, I'm going to be ready to move fast and to help them out and provide that cash. And I think, Thomas, if I were you, I would obviously buy my home with cash, and then if you have some left over, to think about investing and reach out to people in the coming months that need to sell.
Yeah. We had a community in Sanford, townhome community,
Hmm.
and it was under 200,000, and a lot of people had cash who invested in it, and they're able to sell those same townhomes for about 300,000 in less than 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you can make some great decisions with cash, whether it's a builder or it's traditional. Right now, depending on the location, if you're in a position to buy and hold, because what's happening in our area, and I'm sure the same is in Charlotte, if you can't live in the city center,
Hmm.
everyone's getting kind of pushed out. So the towns that um, are being developed because of this,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
able to buy at a lower price, and someone's going to come along and want to buy that same property that you have at a of course at a profit, but it's going to be more
Mhm.
affordable than the heart of the city.
Most definitely. So while we're talking about that, I know I posed it to you yesterday. Where do you see in the Triangle area, Raleigh, Durham, that is the best value for people looking to buy right now, as far as pricing and value and what you get? Because Raleigh right now is more expensive than Charlotte.
Yeah, so so if I was to say one of the best areas to buy right now, and I'm not impartial just because I live in this area, I promise, but it's because I've watched the more expensive areas and watched our area grow, is the
Mhm.
Nightdale area.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes. Yeah.
Nightdale
Yeah.
is was originally built upon being a USDA area.
Hmm.
And so, but you would never know that based on what's offering
Yeah.
in our area. And so in Nightdale right now, you could have the best of both worlds. You can buy traditional or new construction, and the price point is still, of course, if we're talking 400,000, it is going to be some competition. But as you
Hmm.
grow up, then it's less competition, and you're getting the home and the land that you want, both, if that's something that's important to you.
A lot of people that that reach out, when they come to North Carolina, they want land, and they
Yeah,
don't realize that the land is the most, like you said, the most expensive part in the home build.
correct.
But you telling me you can get
Yeah,
significant lots in
comparison
Nightdale?
to someone who wanted to be in the city of Raleigh,
Yeah.
the city of Raleigh, you're if you get a quarter of an acre, you're rich. Um, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but in Nightdale, you can still have a half an acre or a little bit more, and your price point is going to be trending, you know, more so. I mean, we have homes right now in Nightdale from 300,000 to 900,000. So your price is there, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But it's also not an area where you have to live an hour away to really have a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle community. We have all the local stuff that most people need on a day to day, and it's becoming very developed. When I moved here a couple of years ago, we had our home built. I saw that. I was able to see that being in real estate, of course.
Yeah.
And when I bought my home, we're experiencing that very thing, that huge double numbers of appreciation,
Wow.
right?
Yes,
And
yes.
just that announcement that Starbucks is building where they're almost done, and we know that large corporate businesses don't move into neighborhoods that don't have the right amount of money,
Yeah.
right?
Like if you see Starbucks, or what I do is I follow builders. Like when I invest, right? I follow builders as far as not just big builders, as far as people that build homes, but I look at, okay, where's Starbucks going? Where's McDonald's going? And where's Walmart going?
Correct.
Because while those are big companies, they more so are, I consider them real estate investors because they've done the market research. So if they think it's wise to invest in those areas, hell, I'm going to
Correct.
look. I'm gonna look in that area and see. Okay, if it's good for them,
It's
let
good.
me see what's around the corner here.
Yep. And that's what this area has done. Nightdale itself, I mean, like I said,
Mhm.
it's parts of Nightdale that border that have Raleigh addresses. But I just
Yeah.
visited a new construction community yesterday, and it is a Raleigh address, and I can walk across the street and be in Nightdale. Their new construction homes are under 500,000. Now
Yeah.
to buy new construction in Raleigh right now under 500,000, that is unheard of. And these are four-bedroom homes, three-bath homes, 2,000 square foot homes. So you're not, being undersold, and they're on a nice piece of land. So Nightdale is really presenting that because it is a place that is still being developed, that still has room for growth. Very often, if you're trying to beat, the seller's market, I recommend
Mhm.
looking for places like that.
Yeah, most definitely. And I would have to second your thought as far as being further out from the city center. In the Charlotte area, I think the best value, if you're buying or looking to buy, is a couple places. I'm gonna give you a couple places. You have Cabarrus County. It's growing. It's not a secret anymore. But you have Harrisburg, you have Concord, Kannapolis, tons of growth going out there right now, and then also I want you to look at, that's the North Carolina side. If you look on the South Carolina side, I say Clover. Now Clover is right now presently in the middle of nowhere. Great schools, but it's the middle of nowhere. Like you're gonna get there and buy a home, and be like, what did I get myself into? But you want to beat the wave to where you can take advantage of that appreciation before everybody gets in. So just knowing what's coming to Clover and those areas in York County in South Carolina, I think it's wiser to get in now than later. So those are the areas in the Charlotte region within 30 minutes that I believe is the best value presently. USDA, good, bad. I actually love USDA loans. This is 100% finance. If you can qualify, and if the home qualifies, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Couple questions. Got into contract in February 2002 for a home that will close in August 2022. Um, and then he backed up and said, "Should I cancel the contract?" How far? I can't. Hold on. I'm behind on the chat, so forgive me. Gaston County. It really comes down to how far along are they processed? Are you on track to close in August? Or any significant delays? And then you also have to look at your own financing. Like I know when you went under contract in February, interest rates were in the threes, maybe fours at that time. I think threes. Right now we're in the fives, and I actually had somebody in the sixes. It all depends on credit, right? So it's not really just the
Yeah.
best rate. So you have to just do that assessment um, for yourself. But I hate to say go ahead and cancel the contract because chances are, I'm not sure if you have an agent or not, they're not going to give you back that earnest money deposit. Um,
Not if it's just a decision that you woke up and said, I don't want to
exactly.
buy anymore. There are very rare occasions. But what I would say, and I share this, maybe this will help. I have clients that will close in about another week, right after this holiday. They went under contract in April of 2021. Okay,
You said 2021?
correct. 2021.
Yeah.
So imagine as the rates that you spoke about in 2021 compared to them locking in a 5.25 right now.
Yeah.
But the home that they purchased, if they buy this home and wake up tomorrow and resell it, they have 2 acres of land and it's under $300,000, and it's
Oh, they
within
better.
minutes of Raleigh.
I was gonna say, like, if they don't want to buy it, just go ahead and. I don't know if they can assign it, but they need to go ahead and assign it to me.
Brand new construction, and they
Yeah,
listen. They
yeah,
they will be just fine. Their weight was an
yeah, yeah.
investment.
I was gonna say, like, my mom would love that. So
so
yeah, okay,
so if it's worth the wait, if you're seeing wherever you're
yeah,
buying, and there's really no reason, because I mean the build time sounds about on par for what you want on the contract to
hmm
close. That doesn't seem unusual. But if there's really no reason why, I would not say I would not suggest to cancel contract.
got a couple shout outs real quick. Where we at right here? Ozahar, thanks for joining. I did like what 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, it was much longer than that. That's just how time flies. I did like a whole bunch of streams, a string of live streams, like 4 and 6 days, and I believe this brother here was on every single one of them. So thank you for joining and supporting. I appreciate you, Martin. He's a client of mine. We got to get you down here and looking at some new construction. You and your wife. So good evening. Good evening. Um, Checking in from Vegas. Hello, hello. I was talking to somebody from Vegas. Actually, I have some clients right now from Vegas. They moved here last year, got acclimated to the area. Now they're ready to buy. And actually, that's why I'm drinking right now, is because those agents I was talking about did not respond for us to be able to see some properties today. So yeah. So
Shame on
sorry,
those agents.
man. Like
Cheers to those
I
agents.
understand that it's been easy to sell homes for the past 2 years, and people just made offers sight unseen. But no, we need to see these homes now. It's not the same. It's not the same market as it was last year. Um, we have a question. Sorry, what area did you say? You wanna, as far as buying?
In the Raleigh Durham area,
Yes, yes.
I would say Nightdale.
Nightdale. Okay.
Correct. Garner is also, it borders Nightdale, and Garner is where Nightdale is headed. So they have become very developed. And so it was originally a USDA area, and so a lot of North Carolina was, in our area, was rural at one time, and these
hmm
smaller towns, what people don't understand, that are now very well developed. That's how they became developed. People took
Yeah.
and invested in those communities and bought homes, and now those homes that they bought are worth 3 and 4 times as much. Garner would be my second one, and Nightdale would be my first.
So, true story. In 2000, it had to be 2011, 12. It was before my oldest daughter. Um, I had an opportunity to buy a home in Nightdale, a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Wasn't too old, for about 125.
Mhm.
I got it under contract. I didn't buy it. I ended up wholesaling it. I should have bought it. Should have bought it and held on to it. It's one of those things. If you know what you know now,
Yeah, right.
um,
Hindsight is 2020.
yeah. So I was like, man, Nightdale. And even when it was occurring, I'm like, this is a great opportunity. Even at the time, it was a great price. But the issue with that property was the tenants were god awful. And reason why the guy was selling it, because he didn't want to deal with the tenants anymore. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't want those problems right now. So, and like, I don't want those problems from this far away right now. So,
that's
yeah,
a tough one when I help investors and they have tenants in it. It's always a risky purchase because most of the time they don't want to leave, and so you don't know how you're going to get the home
yeah.
when you get the turnkey. So
So, David, you are not driving me to drink, brother. This is my client, clients from Vegas. You are not driving me to drink. It is our colleagues in this profession where, again, I don't like bad mouthing anyone. I like everybody, there's a place for everyone. But I just need you to respond when somebody's trying to show your home. That's all.
yeah,
And That's all. That's all. But no, thanks for jumping in on the live stream. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. You and your wife. Um, so thanks for jumping on. Thank you, Regine. Um, any other questions regarding? So we're not. I was gonna have some articles I wanted to pull up, but uh, time didn't allow for it. We got into conversation, but the biggest takeaway I want people to know is yes, I think the housing market will slow down. There will be less homes sold. Granted, there will be less homes on the market too than traditional was average and normal. So while there will be less homes being sold, I don't believe, based on the numbers I'm seeing and what I'm seeing in the market, not just numbers, but being active every single day, is that we will see a housing crash. There's going to be a slowdown as far as the number of sales and offers, for the sheer fact also there's not as many people able to qualify for that mortgage because of the interest rates and everything like that. So you have less buyers on the market, but you're also going to see less supply because, I mean, I've had somebody reach out thinking about selling and they refinanced last year and they realized if I go to buy, I would be paying 2.5 times, like for what they want, 2.5 times what I'm paying right now. And they're like, you know what? I want to buy, but it just doesn't make sense. So I'm staying right where I am. So I think a lot of people are going to come to that realization, like buying sounds good, but then once you look at the numbers, it's just like I'll much rather take advantage of these interest rates and my mortgage right now as opposed to doubling my interest rate and getting a higher priced home. It just doesn't make sense financially for them.
Ride it out for a little bit. But
Yeah.
I very often try to, help people grasp this concept. And I think what I shared recently helped a lot of people. The interest rates that we see, of course, these are a little bit higher. They have been similar before.
Yes.
And those
Yes.
same people who
Mhm.
purchased, I think my first client about a year ago that I saw with like when we were getting ready to sell her house, she had like a 4 point something. I was like, at that time we were 2%. I was like, but
Yeah.
that same person profited almost 100K on the sale of her home. So she kept it maybe 2 years. So we have to understand that this is not the first time that interest rates have kind of been where they're at, and it will, we will go back to something better.
And just what 2018 interest rates were right around
Correct.
this
That's what
point.
she
So
purchased.
yeah, it's not like it's distant. This is like, but we live in a day and age where I mean we don't really, like I say we, but as a society we don't really, not say care about history, but we're so
Yeah,
caught up in
the
now
right
in the present
correct.
that we're like, man, they doubled in the past year, but historically, like this is very low still. And in 2018, it was still a seller's market, and we had the same interest rates. Although it was houses sat on the market very long, but
Yep.
houses prices did not decline. You can have both things. You can have houses sit on the market and prices continue to go up. Real quick, I have a couple one or two more questions. What do you think about buying in Matthews or Monroe? I like both areas. Um, Monroe, well, in a couple years, I'm gonna get Bree. She's gonna be in that area. In Charlotte, she's gonna come over here.
I'm
But
working on it.
we're gonna get her over here. But
Greensboro down, so I'm about what an hour.
come on.
Working in
Um,
Greensboro.
Yes, yes. But no, I like both areas. Both have their own central hubs where you don't necessarily have to come into Charlotte if you don't want to. Now, if you're in Matthews, you're right there. You're like 15 minutes from Charlotte. Um, but it has a nice, cute vibe. Has its own breweries, restaurants. I really like both. Now, Monroe, that's another area where I see a lot of opportunity. Now, with that said, just about all the major builders are there presently right now. So there's still opportunity, but it's going to go away pretty quickly, simply because one, land there was cheaper, and then two, it's in Union County. Union County has great schools. So definitely check out Monroe. but do it sooner than later, because that value that's there now, if you wait too long, it's just going to be, it's not going to be as it's not going to be a steal for the area. Well, wow, we had 91 people watching right now. I appreciate you all for rocking with us, me and Bree. Any other last questions? I don't want to keep you too long. Actually, I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes or so. I've kept Bree for here 50 minutes right now. So thank you for chilling with us and
Thank you
being
for
with us tonight,
inviting me.
Bree.
You have great people. Thanks, y'all.
Yes.
That's great questions.
What about Mint Hill? I like Mint Hill. Mint Hill is similar to Monroe. Now, there's certain areas of Mint Hill that are better than others, like any place in the country. Um, but no, I like Mint Hill. I like Mint Hill. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, somebody asked a question about Mint Hill. Uh, well, you all enjoy your evening. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to Bree. I left her contact information in the description below. It's also in the chat. Her I didn't put your phone number there because I didn't know if you wanted me to put your phone number, but I put her email, and I will add your phone number to the description below. Um, and if you have any questions for me, or if you have a topic, a video topic you would like for me to discuss, or a guest you'd like for me to have on, please feel free, reach out. I'm here to help you. So again, I appreciate you, and you all have a good night.
Have a good night.